Good morning. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, 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 hi. Oh, howdy. How are you guys doing? Have you watched the new Climate Town yet? No. I have not. I have not yet watched it. But maybe. Maybe soon? I like your hair. Did you do the thing? Wait, what thing? I did,
hey DNM, hey.
I did get it done. I did go to the hairstylist and I was like, give me the peekaboo hair. He was like, okay. And then he cooked. It looks amazing. Every time I see a dark hair, I have a small jump scare. Did Ethan Klein do this to you? Show me where on the doll Ethan Klein hurt you. Anywho, good morning, everyone. It does give Shadow the Hedgehog. That was unintentional. I did not ask for Shadow the Hedgehog, but I guess that's what we're repping now. But anywho, guys. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Sunday fun day. Because I'm having a pretty good Sunday. Shadow Denims, yeah. That is me. I've got some water. It's actually not that much water. I've got some snacks. And we have a good day ahead of us today, guys. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I try to keep Mold Monday for Mondays, but
Red Gem 50.
I couldn't stop
Keep on
myself.
DNM slay DNM bows.
I couldn't stop myself. We have to Mold Monday today. We have to have a special Mold Sunday. So I'll try not to mold too much. And we'll try to only do a little bit of mold. All right? Like any good mold, it spreads. Yeah. Yes. Get in, we molded. Uh-huh. So we have a little bit of mold to go over. Okay? Specifically the tariff stuff, because I'm scared to see what he'll say on it. But I know it's going to be bad. But I'm scared. But I know it's going to be bad. And then, can't have a good Sunday without some hogwatch, okay? You guys remember the people that were like, oh my God, all the fruits and vegetables are made out of plastic. They're back. They're back. I'm going to be honest, guys. These are my favorite hogs. My absolute favorite hogs are like the ones that think all the fruits and vegetables at the store are made out of like plastic and foam. I love them so much. I love them so much. Oh my God. So we gotta watch it. We gotta watch it. I have to. I'm sorry. Tell me that you never have eaten veggies without telling me. Yes. Yes. I was having a great time until you surprised / threatened me with Asmongold opinion. Sorry. As a produce manager at Costco, I hated those people. Wait, did you ever run into them in like the wild? Because I would hate to run into these people in the wild. Like wild hogs. I like it when they're like in their pens and I can like look on the internet and just like, ah, yes. I can scroll through. Like I've talked about this before, but like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, it's just like my personal zoo. I get that people get actually ill going on Twitter, but I've always been really fun. Been really fun. I've always had a lot of fun scrolling because I can just be like, oh my God, look at the crazy people, dude. Oh my God. Oh, that's enough. That's enough of that. Time to get back to life. Yeah, the people that think the bananas are made out of glue. Oh, there's a new genre. There's a new genre. Or like they've picked a new food to investigate. All right? They've picked a new food. So I'm excited. So we're going to talk about that. They've moved on from produce. Yeah. They've moved on from produce to a different section of the grocery store. So, I've never heard of this. Educate me. Don't worry. We'll go through it together, okay? I am really sorry again for anyone who's ever had to run into these people in the real world. I live in the deep south. These hogs wander in droves. No. Dude, thinking about the idea of someone being like, "Why are you selling avocados made of plastic. And like you have to deal with that. Oh my God, dude. Dude, service workers should be able to carry a gun, man. Okay? All right. I'm sorry, man. If you have to deal with customers on a daily basis, you should be allowed one non-lethal shot like a month. Okay? That's my hottest take. Like if a customer pisses you off too much and they're just being too stupid, you should be able to be like, dude, I'm using my one bullet on you. Pick a limb. I think that that's only fair. I think customers should have a healthy fear of the workers they're bothering. Okay? That's what I think. I think we should have legislation for that. I think service workers should be. I don't because sometimes as a customer I'll see like a service worker getting screamed at and I'm like, that guy should be legally allowed to fight back, dude. That guy should be legally allowed. I just it's not cool, man. It's not cool. It's not cool. Just let them have one free fight with a customer a month. Yeah, bring back duels in a big way. Or like maybe like we can put every customer, like one customer a month gets to sit on like a stage and everyone throws tomatoes at them. I think that that's fair, man. I think that that's fair. I think it's fair. All right. The customer is always wrong, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I was buying soy milk one time and this random MAGA person came up to me and said, "You know that has glue in it?" See, I'm too toxic because I would be really tempted to say, "I know, that's the best part. That's what makes it so tasty." Anyways, and then walk off like I feel like when you run into crazy people, you need to out crazy them so that they can like look in a mirror and be like, "Whoa, is this whoa." Oh my God. Anyways, anywho, cool is my favorite response to basically everything lately. I like that one and I like sure, why not? Just like anytime something happens, bad, good, whatever, it's like sure, why not? Sure. Sure, why not? Why not? So yeah, we got mold to talk about. We got Hogwatch. I wanted to cover the rally, the Palestine rally, and then I wanted to cover Sam Cedar. So I think we can have the time to do it today, I think. I hope. I hope. But first, how's the lawsuit going? Nowhere because Ethan Klein's too much of a pussy to sue me because he knows he'll lose. He's already losing the anti-slap, or sorry, he already lost the anti-slap motion for his Kavanaugh case. I'm waiting, dude. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm just saying, guys, he issued that statement that he did, the retraction letter to Noah Samson, like almost instantly. And he still hasn't done it for me, even though my fight with him was a month ago. My lawyer can't do shit. What do you mean if I say something on my show, I'm the one responsible for what I said on my show? What the fuck? So just because I get on and talk about poop, other people can play that clip of me and that's not defamation? What the fuck? What do you mean? But they're being mean to me. On the internet, no less. And everyone knows I, Ethan Klein, have never been mean to anyone ever. So I don't deserve it. The lawyer's like, that's defecation, not defamation. Those are different things, Ethan. We've been over this. Okay? We've been over this only 100 times. I don't understand how many times I have to explain this to you. It's not defamation if someone calls you poopy Ethan Klein. That's not defamation. I'm sorry. My lawyer can't do shit. Ethan made a retraction on the Noah lawsuit. No, he issued a retraction demand from Noah for his video on, it's like titled, the YouTubers who back genocide. He issued a cease and desist and like requesting that he retract that. Man, I love these people though that are like, any day now, he's gonna sue. He's gonna sue. Although technically, I don't think it's a cease and desist. I think it's specifically a demand for a retraction. Anyways, neither here nor there. All right. I'm excited to see it play out. All right. I'm excited to see it play out. I'm excited, personally. All right. Okay. He's already lost maybe tens, perhaps hundreds of thousands of dollars to Kavanaugh for losing the slap motion, the anti-slap appeal. So he's had to pay off Kavanaugh's legal fees, which I can't imagine felt very good. So you know what? Why not do it a couple more times? Yeah, do it pay for everyone's legal fees, dude. It's that one song. Ethan Klein is my best friend. He will pay all of our legal fees, guys. And he will lose all his cases just for us, okay? Just as a treat. That's not true, guys. He has won one case, all right? That's not true. No, you guys shouldn't lie, all right? That's not true. He's lost one. Sorry, he's won at least one case, okay? The one that allows people to watch his content. We're all looking for the guy that did this. We're all looking for the guy that allowed other people to watch my videos. We're all looking for. Oh, God, you can't make this shit up, man. It's so good. All right. Enough laughing at one kind, young, innocent man with a bright future ahead of him, okay? Who has a beautiful tattoo
Girly, I love the new hair.
of his beautiful wife.
Also, more people pins, please.
More people pins. Oh, yes, I actually am working on, I am working on some new sub emotes. Yes. So, things to look forward to. Concrete, thank you so much for the 43 months. Thank you.
Denims is streaming.
No, guys, stop. You got this. It was a literal question, but I appreciate you putting me up there. I even said good shit, LMAO. Okay, I will say you have to be careful in this chat, Yonkizio, because chatters will pull receipts on you in ways that I can't imagine, okay? This person, how did you even find this fast? Teuton, your only chat message in Hasan's chat is you saying terrorist supporter, but go off about how we misjudged you. Bro, I thought I was mean. They're eating you alive in here. Oh my God, dude. Chat said a buffet. Don't mind if I do. Damn. God damn. Oh my. I would not want to talk shit in this chat. I would not want to. Ooh. Anywho. Has anyone told you you look like linguine? Like the food?
I can't wait for these losers to start saying things like, I'm not even an H3 fan, like they do with the obstinate loser fans.
Yeah. My favorite is on Twitter where it'll be like, I don't even like Destiny. And it'll be like, they're part of the Destiny Twitter group. And it's like, what? Yes, I also join Twitter communities of creators that I don't like and I'm not a fan of. Okay. Yeah, I do that too. Me as well. All right. Enough yapping. I'm thinking let's start nice and do I want to cut through the shitstorm today? What is this? I'm sorry. Why is this on my fucking timeline? What is this?
Motherfucker. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. The shoes just don't fucking go with the outfit. It's ridiculous.
Waiting outside, motherfucker.
Like, bro, get real. Can you please get real? Oh my god. Hasan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Mm-hmm.
He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself.
I don't want to think about that, man.
Think about
Too
it.
much. Nope.
Think about it right now.
Stop.
What the hell? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Why is this on my timeline? What is this? What is this? Why does nobody care? Oh, oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't.
Cock.
Yep, cock. I don't know what to even say about this dude. Anyways. All right. That's not what I wanted to pull up. I wanted to pull this up. God, dude. Whenever people comment on people's appearance this way, where they're like, "Ah, they're so hot and sexy. I hate it so much. Ah, it makes me so mad." I always think about people who bring this up. This is the leader of the Democratic Party. LOL. Music video is altered from the original. AOC was dancing to Listomania. No! AOC, queen. No. No. This is a good song. I'm sorry. I am actually like a Phoenix simp. But it's not cool people music, okay? I agree. It's good. And they still put out good songs too, is the fucked up part. Anywho, man. Moving on. Let me pull up the mold video, shall we? After mold, I think we'll need a palette cleanser, so I'm gonna save the hog watch for after, okay? Now let's go. It was his video on tariffs. I love this. Jim Cramer crashing out on Trump. Do we know who Jim Cramer is? Like, I know that's his whole show. Well, whatever. Let me see. He's made so many videos on this at this point. I gotta see this one. Let's see his opinions on Liberation Day.
Predictions. Yes, I have a handful of predictions. First prediction.
I want to see what he has to say about what he originally said about the tariffs.
Yes, but it would have been tough for a lot of countries who didn't want to do that. I'd like to see the chart if you have it. Could you bring it up, Howard? This is our great Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick.
Oh, it's bald guy, right? Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I was going to ban him, but
if you look at that,
who cares?
China, first row. China. 67%. That's
oh,
tariff.
That's really bad.
Charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think
that's reasonable.
In other words, they charge us us, we charge them. We charge them less. So how can anybody be upset?
Yep. Vietnam.
They will be, because we never charge anybody anything.
Apparently
But now we're
Mexico
gonna
roached
charge.
out too.
European Union, they're very
Yep.
tough, very, very tough traders. You know, you think of European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff.
Damn.
Taiwan, where they
Not
took all of
anymore.
our computer
They
chips and
roached out.
semiconductors. We used to be the king, right? We were everything. We had all of it. Now we have almost none of it, except the biggest company is coming in. We're going to end up with almost 40%. Lee Zeldin's working to get their approvals. And it's an amazing company. Mr. Wei, of one of the great companies of the world, actually. They're
Oh, he
coming
was
in
here.
from Taiwan, and they're going to build one of the biggest plants in the world,
Remember
maybe
him?
the biggest for that. But 64%, we're going to charge them 32%. Japan, very, very tough. Great people. And again, I don't blame the people for doing it. I think they're very smart in doing it. I blame the people that sat right in that Oval Office, right over there.
Who's that?
Right behind the Resolute desk, or whichever desk they chose. Japan, 46%. They would charge us 46%, and much higher for certain items like cars.
Yeah.
You know, little items like cars. 46%, we're charging them 24%. India, very, very tough. Very,
Oh,
very
God.
tough.
We got 12 more years of this, guys.
Prime Minister just left, and he's a
Haha.
great friend
Yeah, let's make some jokes about how our country is going to become a dictatorship. That's funny.
of mine, but I said, you're a friend of mine, but you're not treating us right. They charge us 52%. You have to understand, we charge them almost nothing for years and years and decades. And
Yep.
it was only 7 years ago when I came in, we started with China and charged them. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China in tariffs. And they understood, honestly. President Xi understood. He said, look, I understand. And the other countries, and they all understand. We're going to have to go through a little tough love, maybe, but they all understand. They're ripping us off, and they understood it. Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo, was Shinzo Abe.
Bro.
He was a fantastic man. He was
Man.
unfortunately taken from us, assassination. But I went to him and I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. A trade is not fair. He
Bro,
said, I
he
know
brought
that.
him up.
I know that.
That's
And
crazy.
he was a great gentleman. He was a fantastic man, but
I wonder
he
if he
understood
saw the
immediately what I
memes.
was talking about. I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. He said, I know that. And we worked out a deal, and it would have been a much better deal, but frankly, there were many years
Probably.
left on the deal that
Yeah.
was made previous to my getting there, but it was something. If you look at Switzerland, 61% to 31%. Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia. Oh, look at Cambodia, 97%. We're going to bring it down to 49. They made a fortune with the United States of America. United Kingdom, 10%.
Also, with the context that these are not reciprocal tariffs, this is just like, I think it's imports over the deficit. I think, is it deficit over imports? It's one of the two. So it's literally just we're charging them tariffs because we enjoy the goods that they make. Like the only thing that does is get them to stop, get every single country to stop exporting goods to us. A lot of goods which cannot be replaced easily. I mean, there's this tweet that I think makes fun of it pretty well. I look forward to buying American coffee, bananas, and black pepper. Don't worry, Hawaii just needs to ramp up production of Kona coffee about 1,000 times what they would need to meet current demand. Yeah, they got it. Yeah. And then they've been posting this photo of like shipping coffee to from the Hawaii to like the States, $176 for 16 ounces. Or sorry, 2 pounds. Excellent, good. That's a steal, I think. I think that's a good price for coffee. That seems reasonable.
And we'll go 10%. So
Also, did you see that it turns out the calculation is what all the big AI suggests if you want to get debt down fastest, but they ignore the warning at the end about it being dangerous? No, it's fine. You can trust AI totally and completely. Like when Google AI suggestions were telling you to put glue in your pizza.
We'll do the same thing.
Yep.
South Africa, 60%, 30%, and they've got some bad things going on in South Africa. You know, we're paying them.
Yeah. This doesn't even change the fact also that, like, there's countries on this list that don't have any people on them. It's just like an island that has penguins on it. And we're just starting to charge these places 10% flat rate. Because why not?
Billions of dollars, and we cut the funding because
Fuck
a lot
them
of bad
penguins,
things are
dude.
happening
Fuck
in South
them.
Africa. The fake news ought to be looking
Penguins in herd in McDonald Island right now.
that they don't want to report it.
The bad thing is Musk. Say psych right now. Say psych right now, man. It's a bait, right? It's just you're just trolling. You're trolling. You're just baiting me, right?
Brazil,
You're
10%,
just baiting me, guys.
10%.
Come on.
Bangladesh is 74%. So you see what's going on. Pakistan, 58%.
That's a lot.
Sri Lanka, 88%.
That's the second from
So
the
what
bottom.
we're doing is we're taking not the full, we could take the full 88%. Thanks a lot, Howard. He's doing a very good job. How's he doing, all right? I think you better take it.
Oh, maybe they're saying the bad thing from South Africa is Elon Musk. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe that's the joke. In which case, Chatter, you're very funny.
With you. It's not going to last very long. He's going to put it, it's going to follow you down with the wind. I brought a hat just in case it got too windy, but here, would anybody like a hat? I'm not giving it to a cabinet. I'm giving it to the auto workers. Come here.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. This is apparently why an island full of penguins got tariffed. Note that the tariffs are not broken down by country. They're broken down by top-level internet domain. That's why islands that are populated entirely by penguins, the HM domain, and why the Diego Garcia military base are listed. Also why Reunion, RE, Gibraltar, GI, are listed separately from France and UK. They 100% used an LLM to generate this list and didn't catch the mistake because they're all dumb as rocks.
Oh my fucking
Thank you, fellas.
God.
Get it. That's it. That's it.
Man.
They deserve it more than our cabinet. Our cabinet has plenty of hats. But you see the numbers. The numbers are so disproportionate. They're so unfair. At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart? And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating. So we're going to have a minimum of cheating, and we're going to be very severe on the people that at the gate that watch the tariffs and watch the product coming in, because there's been a lot of bad things happening at the gate because the money is so enormous that you're talking about. There's never been probably anything like it in terms of the enormity, and there are a lot of bad things happen at the people that do the check-in, and they're looking at 10 years.
Ah, yes, the tariff gate. The tariff checking in gate.
Jail sentences if they do play. We're going to treat them so good, but if they cheat, the repercussions are going to be extremely strong. Foreign nations will finally be asked to pay for the privilege of access to our market, the biggest market in the world. We're right now the biggest market in the world. We had a great country 4 years ago in terms of the economics. We were doubling up on China. We were doing so well. Nobody was going to catch us, but so much of it slipped away over the last 4 years under Biden. I campaigned on this policy throughout last year, and today that promise was made, and it was also a promise, as you know, that was kept. Promises made, promises kept.
He did say he was going to do it.
To any company that objects to our common sense reciprocal tariffs, again, reciprocal, back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
And I call this kind reciprocal. This is not full reciprocal. This is kind reciprocal. But what we do is we cut it in half. We charge them. My answer is very simple if they complain. If you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America. And we've seen companies coming in like we've never seen before. Likewise to all of the foreign presidents.
Meanwhile, most recently, BMW is most likely going to pull its production from the US because it's just not worth it to send their engines here for manufacturing and then send them back, given the tariffs. So, like, we've at least lost some jobs for companies that like to import to factories that are here and then export. Yay!
Presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, ambassadors, and everyone else who will soon be calling to ask for exemptions from these tariffs. I say, terminate your own tariffs, drop your barriers, don't manipulate your currencies. They manipulate their currencies like nobody can even believe, which is a bad...
BMW's woke anyways. You're right. No, you're right, and you should say it. Terminate your own tariffs. The tariffs that don't currently exist. Like...
bad thing and very devastating to us, and start buying tens of billions of dollars of American...
Stellantis also just laid off a bunch of people as well. Barriers are so bad in Canada, we can barely trade effectively internally. Reuters said that UK's Jaguar Land Rover is going to pause its shipment to the US over tariffs. Woo, yeah! This is so good. I heard that BMW stands for Black Migrant Women, aka DEI. Oh my god, we have to get it out now.
American goods. Tariffs give our country protection against those that would do us economic harm, and many people were looking to do us economic harm. Maybe not so obviously, but they were doing tremendous economic harm. But even more importantly, they will give us growth. These tariffs are going to give us growth like you haven't seen before, and it'll be something very special to watch. I am so looking forward, and Brian, it's going to happen even faster than you said. You know, you might say, but it's already started. It's already started.
I've spent most of my career in the plants around Detroit. Expect to see layoffs at suppliers around 3 to 4 months, and the big 3 shortly after.
Work's already begun on plants all around the country, and you see that as before. These are big, rich companies. We have $61 billion started.
Okay, I'm going to assume Asmongold isn't going to say anything for the next however long Trump is talking, and he's just going to say, whoa, that seems reasonable.
Wow.
That's a good one.
So let's skip ahead to where Asmon isn't talking, or sorry, Trump isn't talking anymore.
Executive.
Thank you.
Not only is he doing that he said he was going to do, he is doing. And not only is he doing it, but it seems like it is working. Mexico is not doing retaliatory tariffs either. It seems like there's a bunch of countries roaching out with this. They said they were going to do it, but, you know, when it comes down to it, it doesn't happen. And really not that big of a surprise. And Xbox in America, right? Yeah, there's going to be American Xboxes now. That's right. And so there we go. And I'm not surprised about this. I don't think really hard. Trump fixed the loot council. Yep, that's right. And that's why Trump won't respect them. Yep, we've been in a recession, for fuck's sake. I feel like you can't make... The thing is that you're not going to be able to like really use the stock market messaging as an effective tool to make people think that these decisions are bad, because most people that are in favor of them don't have stocks to begin with because they don't have the capital. Like, these are people that don't have jobs that are good. They don't have any capital to have in the stock market. So, like, when this perspective value of the company is going down, this isn't going to be relevant to them. What's relevant to them is how much are their groceries, how much is gas, how much are these things. So,
no, whether or not the company you work for goes out of business is relevant to you, because then you won't have a job anymore.
You can make appeals to the stock market, etc., but that's not.
This also doesn't change the fact that so many people have 401ks. Like, huh? What?
Going to really appeal to an average person. I'm telling you guys, that's what it's going to be, right? That's what it's going to be. You're not going to understand it, but if you talk to somebody that's like this, you will. And yeah, Trump is literally taking from the rich and giving jobs to the poor. Well, we'll see what happens.
It's like you chat, you don't understand like how hard it is for me to like come to terms with the fact that these are real people. Like I don't know what to do when I see stuff like this. When I see these type of hogs. Are you happy you voted for Trump? Yes, and I was buying a Switch too, but now that they made it a political thing, I'm out. Wait, who made this a political thing? Nintendo just did ... Didn't you read the article? Like, what? What do you say to someone like this? What do you say to someone like this? What do you say? Open the skulls. Or like this person. In theory, how fast could Nintendo move production of hardware to Ohio? 2 to 3 months? Like, what do you... I don't know what to do. We really have to share a society with people who neither understand how things work nor are willing to learn. I just checked. My 401k has lost $4,000 since last month. That's actually good. You're just a hater because you hate Trump. Okay?
Right? But let me go back. He could announce anything and people would hate it. I mean, some people would, right? I mean, I don't know about everybody, but like there definitely are some people that would get mad. But yeah, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. And it's going to continue happening too. So dumb. Tariffs are a regressive tax. Well, then why are the other countries doing it to us?
They're not. They're just importing a lot of goods to the US at a cheaper cost than what it would take for us to make it here. And in some instances, because we can't make it here. Like, we have one state that has a tropical enough climate to grow things like coffee beans or to grow like bananas. And we cannot ramp up production in Hawaii to the point where we can meet every American's desires and needs for coffee. Like, it's not, ignoring the fact that you would still need a bunch of time to even build that production. Like, let's say you try to do it. You're like, okay, we're going to make all the coffee Americans need here in the US. That will take years. That would take years. Don't even get me started on vanilla. Like, that's not, I don't even think it's feasible to grow that much vanilla in the States. Denims, how long would it take to move Hawaii to Ohio? 2 to 3 months? It's fine, Denims. I'm going to start growing mangoes in Ohio. How long could it take? 2 to 3 months? Oh my God. Trees have to come to age. There's also a question about like how much land you would need to even grow these things, right? It's a banana farm, Denims. How much could a banana farm cost? $10. Why don't we just grow all of our cars here too? Oh my fucking God. To explain again, chat, just to be very clear, when it comes to like trade, if we cannot reasonably make that good in bulk, and it doesn't make sense for us to make that good in bulk, we shouldn't make that good in bulk, and we should allow instead other countries to make it, and we can buy it for pretty cheap. It just doesn't make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense to try and it's so frustrating because this is like the very this is like econ 101. Like, this is such basic shit that when it comes to trading, at least of like natural resources, both countries are better off by the trade. Objectively, both countries are better off by the trade. When it comes to labor-intensive goods that can be produced by both nations, now it gets more complicated. Generally speaking, both countries will be better off, but the people in the countries will be worse off. The lowest paid workers will be worse off. And that's still not an always, right? Labor is where things change a little bit. When it comes to just natural resources that are available in a country versus natural resources that are just not available in other countries, It literally doesn't make any sense at all to tariff those goods. It doesn't make any sense.
If they're a regressive tax and they're bad, then why are they doing it to us? You're retarded. You're gonna be losing out on thousands of jobs if these companies just don't trade with America anymore. You think that the countries are just gonna stop trading with America? Trade with America. You're retarded. You're gonna be losing out on thousands of jobs if these companies just don't trade with America anymore. You think that the countries are just gonna stop trading with America?
China would like a word.
The entire purpose that Trump has been fucking stressing with the tariffs is that these companies will stop sending their goods here because it's no longer financially viable, which would force us to ramp up production in the US. That was the basis of the tariff. That was literally what Trump said. That's what Trump said. You have no clue what you're talking about. You have no clue about vertical farming and importing coffee plants fully grown. What economists have been talking about for literally months now with regard to tariffs is that blanket tariffs are a terrible economic decision for everyone involved. You have to invest prior to the tariffs so that if we decide we want to grow a bunch of coffee beans here in the US, we can import them, import the fully grown coffee plants, which I'm sure there's a lot of sellers in the exporting of fully grown coffee plants. For starters, let's just talk about that. But you would have to invest before placing the tariffs. And then you can place the tariffs. Brahma farmer, this shit is impossible.
Hey, smiley face.
Vertical farming is one of those things that's like, it's really cool. And on paper, it's really cool. But in practice, actually getting it to work is very fickle and very expensive. Not to mention the fact that if you want to be growing coffee beans here in a climate where coffee beans aren't meant to grow, now you have to build giant greenhouses for all the coffee that Americans consume.
Don't worry, I'm sure Target is just gonna open a garment factory instead of raising prices and waiting for the tariffs to go away.
You are finally getting smart. We have plenty of land, unused land all over the place. Do you know how long it takes to build a vertical farm? Do you know how long it takes to build a greenhouse? Days. Days. It takes days, guys. Oh my God. How long could it take to build a banana farm, Michael? 10 days? This motherfucker imagines it the way that you go to a UPS and you're like, when will it get there? Like 2 to 3 business days? And they're like, yeah, about. He thinks we can just do that with an entire banana farm. An entire coffee bean farm. I don't even know how people like that. I don't know how people like that remember to breathe, dude. I just You're a moron. You have no clue what you're talking about. If it's modular and prefab, you have 100 works. It takes days. You have zero clue how the world really works. This is, I'm going to be honest, chat, I can't tell if this is like divorced 40-year-old that's spending his Sunday day drinking or teenager. It's like a 50-50 like coin flip here on this one. We can't even house the homeless yet. This fool wants to house the banana and coffee. You don't understand. The houses aren't prefabbed and modular, okay? Oh, God, dude. God bless you, man. God bless you. It's also like a fundamental misunderstanding of how, again, like economics works. Like the thing is, economic policy dictates that when countries have a natural abundance of resources and just land that is more suitable or climate that's more suitable for one resource versus another resource or one crop versus another crop, it is just more profitable for both states to trade. It benefits both countries equally. Well, maybe not equally. Usually the country that is importing is hurt, but the benefit is outweighed if that country can export, which most countries are built on something that they don't just exist with nothing, right? Most countries are exporting goods, either manufacturing, labor, etc. Comparative advantage, yes. And that's why currently that's the current business model. That's why free trade and the invisible hand has like dictated the global economy for forever, right? Because again, at the very least, when it comes to materials, natural resources, climate that's more suitable for X, Y, or Z, it's better to trade. Labor is where it gets more complicated. Clearly, you just have to go to your local Walmart, buy a prefabbed coffee bean factory, and you can 3D print your own bananas. This is 2025. Oh, God. If tariffs are meant to grow domestic industry, why is Trump telling other countries to zero out their tariffs and turn the entire planet into a free trade zone? Hey, stop trying to make sense of it. Stop. How dare you? Stop it. Yeah, and this really gets to like the root of what I'm talking about here. And now instead we should use a crazy amount of resource inputs for an unnatural crop so that the price is high regardless. Think about like even just people, your yard, how people have started moving towards planting crops, or not crops, vegetation, I guess, that is native to the land. It just requires less maintenance because the environment's already suited for it. Trying to grow grass in a desert so you can have like a grass lawn is just not worth it because the amount of water that you have to use to maintain it is ridiculous. So a lot of people have started moving towards planting native crops, or like, again, not crops, vegetation, in their yards because it's more efficient. That environment's already suited for that specific vegetation, right? In the same way, every single addition in cost and every single addition in the input to be able to start growing bananas or coffee beans here, that makes the cost of it go up and up and up and up to the point where it's almost not worth it to do it here. So let's say we spend the next 5 years let's just say for coffee. Americans can go without bananas. It's fine. Except for that one guy that has to do his morning routine with the Saratoga Ashton Hall. Okay, but whatever. Let's just talk about it for a second. We can make without bananas. We're good. Coffee. I think most Americans really enjoy their coffee. I think it was like 3 in 4 Americans have coffee like at least once a day. Which is a pretty high number. Let's say we build multiple giant greenhouses. We dedicate a lot of resources to making this crop able to grow because normally it cannot grow in this environment. We grow all of the fucking giant vertical farms, which there's a reason why current farming doesn't utilize vertical farming. It's because it's very expensive and it's not really feasible. And it's way more simple to just grow on the land. It doesn't scale as well. It's again, We'll get into it in a little bit. So you dedicate all these resources. I think now normally like you can get like a shitty bag of coffee beans for like $6. A normal sized coffee bean bag, like a pound. Maybe like some really nice stuff. It's like $20. Let's just call it 10. Let's just call it 10 even. All of the extra resources, all of the special fertilizer that we would need to make it more, to make the dirt more hospitable for that plant, all of the resources in greenhouses to be able to grow it here, all of the resources in vertical farming to grow it here, all of that is going to increase the cost of it. And then you take a bag that's normally like $10 and now it's like $20 or $30 or $40. And now suddenly if you want coffee, you can only get the coffee that's grown in America, but because it's so expensive to grow it in America because this climate isn't made for coffee, now if you want it, it's expensive as fuck. And this isn't even talking about the fact that certain crops are just unbelievably finicky. I talked about this yesterday with regard to vanilla bean. Vanilla bean comes from a flower. I actually never showed it, but here. It's actually pretty hard to find this. I want you guys to see like what it looks like because it's actually unbelievably annoying. Okay, I'm struggling to find it, but that's okay. It's from a flower. That's the TLDR. And it's also like unbelievably fickle. If you've grown any flowers before, you know that growing flowers is so difficult and unbelievably fickle to grow because they're fucking flowers. They need a particular climate and they need a lot of attention and they need a lot of care. And it's very easy to have your entire fucking crop decimated off of like a variety of things. Oh, did you send this video? Wait.
Vanilla
Orchids
is
are
the world's
picky.
second most expensive spice.
Ah, I didn't mean to pull screen.
Valeran'ny vanilla izay hitantsika eto amin'ity toeran'ity androany a dia
Value of vanilla we see here today is about 2.3 million euros. Holy.
And the East African island of Madagascar produces roughly 80% of the global supply. Here, farmers have to pollinate 40 million orchids that only bloom for one day a year.
Raha trena mafy izy dia lasa potsiky, simba, tsy lasa
If you pull it, sorry, wait.
Raha trena mafy izy dia
If you pull suddenly,
potsiky,
it will literally
simba,
crush itself
tsy
and
lasa fleur,
cannot become a vanilla
tsy lasa
bean.
gosy sy ny lavany.
Only then will a vanilla bean or pod grow. Inside are the seeds and oils used in popular desserts. But Madagascar is still one of the poorest countries in the world.
Volatility of the vanilla prices, this bust and boom creates such a toxic environment there.
Farmers can earn more when the price of vanilla is high, but rampant inflation often follows, and the big bucks attract thieves who attack farmers and steal crops.
Yeah.
Today, farmers arm themselves to defend their vanilla.
Ny ologno mpamboly lavany kofa very lavany zany efa ratsy ny fiainagnazy satria tsisy raha magnidy bola aminazy.
Farmers can plunge into extreme poverty when prices are low. The government has tried to stabilize the price, but it's backfired. And now global customers are turning to other countries for cheaper vanilla. As locals fight to protect Madagascar's green gold, they worry how much more they, the land, and this crop can take.
That's crazy. Anyways, the idea that you can immediately start growing this in America, first of all, we don't have the climate, so you'd have to build giant greenhouses for it, which is unbelievably expensive, which would already make one of the most expensive spices more expensive, which would automatically make anything that uses vanilla more expensive. So we'll just, okay, sure, why not? But the idea that you can train all of these people to be able to do this, like what, in the course of 2 or 3 months? And that you could suddenly start growing all of these in the course of 2 or 3 months, that there are countries that are selling fully viable vanilla bean plants as if they wouldn't automatically just start using that to make more profit. Like it's not feasible. It's not realistic. And it's also a waste of our time and energy and money because we will never be able to produce it at the cost that they produce it at because we don't have the climate for it. Anyways, I don't want to harp too long on it. You guys get the idea. Cinnamon also. Yep.
Their entire economy is built off of America. And if Trump cuts them off and doesn't do that, they're going to fall apart. And it's going to be a lot worse than any tariff that we can do to them. That's it. And so anyway, yeah, it's just, that's not what it's going to be. Not all countries? No. But some of them definitely that will happen. And so, yeah, people are mad that we're still only tariffing half of what they do to us. Well, the thing is that he was including the currency valuation as well into that number. So that's the reason why the numbers and the values were different. That's kind of what I would assume. And Canadian Steel's already losing jobs. Yeah, does it get tiring explaining things to retards? No, not really. I mean, the problem is that, and this is a big issue that a lot of people have, and the main weakness that a lot of these people have is that they're not able to really see things from the point of view of an average person. So a big thing for average people is that the value of stocks and the value of companies, like these perspective, like theoretical trillions of dollars, these numbers don't exist in the mind of an average person. This is all just like bullshit, fake, made up numbers. What these people care about is the money in and the money out on a monthly basis. And that's what really matters more than anything. And so if that's what's changing and that's what matters, then that's what's really going to appeal to an average audience of just like normal people, right? Yeah, it's everyone in 401ks. No, definitely. But there's a lot of people who don't even have that.
Let me see the number. 70 million Americans have a 401k. Sure, man. Sure. Those people, they can go fuck themselves. Yeah, they can go. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. A quarter of Americans, who gives a fuck about those people? Yeah, who cares about those? Those people don't matter. That doesn't matter. Oh my God. And it doesn't change the fact that even if you don't have a 401k, okay, even if you don't, what about the fact that you're going to lose your job? What about the fact that everything that you want to buy is suddenly now way more expensive, or you can't buy it because they're no longer exporting it to our country anymore? Let me buy the American Nintendo.
And I'm watching you just to what stupid Americans think, to find out what they think. Yeah, that's it. And tariffs quite literally raise prices on actual goods, though. Well, that's the thing, is that Trump is basically, this is what I think that he's doing.
Love this guy. He has no idea what he's talking about, but he wings it so hard, most confidently, idiotic takes with absolutely no thought behind them. Yeah, you just don't get it, man. You just don't get it. You just don't understand, man. You just don't understand what it's like to be the smartest person in the room and know that Trump knows what he's doing and we should just trust the plan.
Is that you're absolutely right that tariffs will raise prices on the goods. But if tariffs would only raise prices on the goods and all the tariffs do are punish their own citizens, then why do these countries threaten tariffs back at us? Well, it's because it can be used as a weapon also. That's the reason why. So obviously, like, people always keep using this argument, oh, well, Trump is using these tariffs and, like, it's only going to hurt Americans. Well, if Trump is only going to hurt Americans with tariffs, then why are all these other countries, why were they peacocking around about putting tariffs back on us? Do they want to hurt their own citizens too? Obviously not. But this clear, like, weird fucking distinction here, it's bad for both. I know.
This is such an effective trade strategy. Threaten tariffs on other people so they threaten tariffs on you so you both drop them.
No, and that's the truth, is that it is bad for both of them. And Trump is relying on these
Part
companies,
of the deal.
or not companies, countries, their risk aversion. Basically, this is going to hurt them more than it will hurt us. And they will be too afraid to hurt themselves that badly, so they will let us take advantage of them, or in some way or another have a better or a more fair trade deal. That's it. And so that's basically what the goal. That, well, sure, it is. Well, why do you think Canada and Mexico aren't going to do it now? And Vietnam?
I don't even. You're threatening to hurt your economy in the short term and in some instances in the long term and their economy. So they counter, like, bluff. And then you both drop the tariffs. Like, what are we doing here?
isn't going to do it. Why do you think that is? Yeah, why? Like, I mean, it's obviously why.
It's obviously why. Well, he also later made a video talking about how Trump nuked the economy. So let's watch this one. I think it'll be good, right, guys?
What are my view on the tariffs? I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows. I think that it's massive. Destabilizing. I know people, I've had friends of mine contact me and they've said like, yeah, bro, like our company is like way worse. Like we have this massive issue. We're thinking about doing layoffs, right? So like I've had people tell me like that they're really bad.
Markets are open and you might want to turn away or maybe not. It's 2 days now. The news is tough out there now with the tariff announcement. Already in 5 minutes of trading, we're off about 2.5% from the Dow 30. So we're below 40,000 now for the first time in some time. I'd say about a year. On the broad.
It is not unthinkable to me that this number might be a 2 within a year. I think it could go down by that much.
Market, the S&P 500 trading lower about 2.5 percentage points.
I don't think it will, by the way. Like, in my opinion.
I don't even know what to say to this, man. I think this thing could happen. I don't think it will happen, but I think it could. I think the economy could get a lot worse. That's what I think, but I don't think it'll happen.
I think that a lot of these tariffs are just brinkmanship. And it's not actually something that's going to happen in the long term. I think that a lot of people are expecting Trump to use these tariffs as negotiating chips and not necessarily like a solid foundation for policy. That's the reason. And like that's what I think people are thinking. But if he does keep them, I could see it going down substantially.
The NASDAQ is down even more at 3%. Yeah. So in the past 30 minutes, the president, who is now in Florida at Doral for the LIVE event, he posted this. So the many investors coming to the United States and investing massive amounts of money.
So what the NASDAQ's at right now? Down 8.5% in the past 5 days. And dropping! And dropping!
My policies will never change. This is a great time to get rich, richer than ever before. I will remind you that China announced its retaliatory tariffs around 5 a.m. Eastern time today to the tune of 35% for American products going into China.
What's your prediction for tomorrow? It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going.
So that was the latest move. We'll see how it bounces back and forth throughout the day and into the weekend as we move forward. All right, this from last night, Air Force One.
Dude, I should have bought puts immediately on the 3rd.
What we have is we have a set of tariffs based on what they've been charging us. That's reciprocal. And those tariffs have come in and every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat.
President Trump.
Yep, that's right.
Can you explain what a put is? The short version is you bet that the stock or the like SPY or like NASDAQ, you just bet that that thing that you're putting money into is going to go down. And you make money when it goes down. You're betting against that. So a short, basically, yeah. The way that it functions is a little different, but it's just, you're just gambling on red instead of green. And you make money if you win. The concern about shorting or with puts is that you can lose an infinite amount of money because a company can infinitely grow. Whereas if you're betting that a company will do well, it can only drop to a certain amount, right? But yeah, puts are with options so you can make more money faster, basically.
And the only problem
is
lose
money faster.
People think he's putting himself in the driver's seat and then driving directly into a wall. That's the issue. And now, is that wall the Great Wall of China? We're going to find out.
Somewhat downplaying the initial market reaction to his tariff plan. He's betting Americans will tolerate the short-term downturn if it means restoring manufacturing here in the U.S. Free Press columnist Batya Sargon, writes that with Trump's Liberation Day plan, he's delivering on one of his campaign promises. She is our guest now. I'm sorry about that, but your name is unusual, but people are going to get to know you. You wrote a column.
I hate this woman. I hate her. MAGA leftist. I hate her.
Is getting a lot of attention. It said this: how did he steal the working class from the Democrats? Well, in the most obvious way, by purloining their pro-labor agenda. He has.
Well, the reason why is because you can't have a you can't have a party of people who constantly think that and talk down to voters. And I think this is the way that a lot of I think working class people believe, is that they view Democrats as ivory tower intellectuals that add basically no value to society. Whereas in a lot of cases, these are people that have physical labor jobs and things that, provide some sort of tangible effect to society. And so when they're being talked down to by some graphic artist that, uses Photoshop for a living to make pretty pictures, and they get told,
what's with the random dig at artists, dude? That's really mean to the guy who makes your thumbnails, okay?
learn to code from this person, they're not going to appreciate that at all. You think they're smarter than yeah, you think you're smarter than me? Exactly. That's exactly the way they feel.
More to the point, Democrats haven't run on a good populist position in ages. To be clear, Republicans don't run on it either. They just pretend to run on it, right? This is everything that is happening right now under Trump's administration. That was always the plan. There's a chart that tracks all of the Project 2025 goals and how much has been achieved so far. This is it, project2025.observer. And you can see out of the 300 total goals, we're about 42% done. And it lists all of the objectives within all of these administrations or public services, and it shows how many of these things are getting completed. But again, Project 2025 was always the playbook. They're just doing it, and people are acting surprised. But, I mean, people on the left have tried to sound the alarm on Project 2025 in ages. For ages. Literally, it was so bad that Trump literally had to start saying, I don't know anything about Project 2025. I've never heard it in my life. And you can see here it lists some of the goals. So, for example, cutting the budget of the U.S. aid. And it views the source on what it says in Project 2025. Let me click this for you guys one sec. And it'll source the exact page of the Project 2025 where they talk about reducing U.S. aid funding. The thing is, Republicans are too lazy to read, so they haven't bothered to look into Project 2025 at all. Here's a link for anyone who wants it, by the way. I'll send it to you guys. So they didn't understand that when people were saying that the Trump administration is going to be worse this time around because he's just going to follow the 2025 guidebook, he's doing that right now. And he's going to keep doing that. Why? It's not this is very straightforward. This is super straightforward. Did Heritage Foundation put this out? Well, they didn't put out the tracker, but they put out, the Heritage Foundation worked heavily on the Project 2025 goals. So, anyways.
Force the border and is now instituting widespread tariffs, implementing a broad protectionist agenda committed to reshoring manufacturing and giving the working class a boost, the likes of which we haven't seen since the New Deal.
Yeah.
Tell me about your column and the reaction to it.
Do you know, it's so amazing. This morning on one of the liberal channels, I saw
Asmongold is the most popular politics streamer.
I mean, you get a lot. It's very easy to farm and it would be very easy to grift to the Republican Party because you don't have to actually do any research. You can just say, this is common sense, guys, obviously. These are common sense policies. We need to bring everything here. We need to bring all the manufacturing here. But
Democrat congressman, and he was just sitting there saying, I have no idea why President Trump is doing this. They simply cannot understand why he is implementing the tariffs because the answer.
Well, the thing is, if you voted for Trump, this is very important. If you voted for Trump and you're upset about these tariffs, you kicked yourself in the dick.
Wait 1 second.
About these tariffs, you kicked yourself in the dick.
Wait, he's actually saying something true. He's actually, this is the first correct thing he said all day so far.
He was going to do this the entire time. He said, guys, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, guys. Guys, guess what I'm going to do? Boys, have you heard about my favorite word? So yeah, seriously. So anybody who's voted for Trump, who's complaining about these tariffs, you are so dumb.
Oh my God.
He said this from the beginning.
Dude, no wonder this video only has 500,000 views. People hated this video. Oh my God.
This is one of the only things Trump has been consistent on even. You can look at interviews from Trump in 1980, and he's talking about tariffs. Really? He's talking about even then.
Answer is simple. He is choosing Main Street over Wall Street. He has chosen to bet on the American working class instead of on the rich elites.
That's right. That's exactly it. And that's the reason why you see so many of these people on social media that are unhappy about it. It's because they're the ones that have a bunch of money in the lawsuit.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he recently like retweeted or Truth Socialed a video which basically suggested that Trump's entire plan was to crash the economy. Because you have to understand, in like periods of time of financial distress and difficulty, like with COVID, it's an easy way for a massive wealth transfer to occur. Again, it happened in COVID. Most notably, or most offensive, the most offensive thing that happened was grocery stores making insane amounts of profit. And guess what? They recognize that groceries are an inelastic good, which means you need it. It's not like a fucking yacht where you can just choose to not buy a yacht. You need food, you need water, you need housing. And so when supply chains stabilized, grocery store outlets just continued to charge a higher rate because why wouldn't they? And so the price of inelastic goods drastically dropped back to pre-COVID levels, but the price of food did not. I mean, Kroger had to admit after an investigation that they were price gouging. Like, what do you... Yeah, he tweeted this out, or sorry, truthed this out.
20% this month, but Trump is crashing the stock market by 20% this month, but he's doing it on purpose. And this is why Warren Buffett just said Trump is making the best economic moves he's seen in over 50 years. Now, here's the secret game he's playing, and it could make you rich. So why is he doing this? To push cash into treasuries, which forces the Fed to slash interest rates in May, and those lower rates give the Fed the ability to refinance trillions of debt very inexpensively.
Not true.
It also weakens the dollar and...
Also, yeah, I refuse to believe that Warren would say that. I don't believe that for a second.
Mortgage rates. Now, it's a wild chess move, but it's working. Now, you're probably wondering, what about his tariffs? Well, I'll tell you, it's a genius play. It actually forces companies to build here to dodge them. It also forces farmers to sell more of their products here in the U.S. to bring grocery prices way down. We've already seen this with eggs. Now, remember, 94% of all...
This doesn't even make any sense at all because egg prices were up because of bird flu, not for any other reason.
Stocks are owned only by 8% of Americans. So Trump, he's taking from the rich short term and handing it to the middle class through lower prices.
Omega lol. At what universe do we live in where like Trump is posting this video on his Truth Social that says, I am crashing the economy on purpose. And then people say, like Asmongold, well, really, I'm the Trump understander. It's all a bargaining move. He's not actually going to do this. When is someone going to make a video? This is trickle-down economics, but unironically. Oh, yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Or sorry, in the stock market. And I don't know why I said lawsuit. And I think they're permanent. He's talking about abolishing income tax under $150,000. Yes. And this is like, almost all identity politics is, in my opinion, a
Mao Zedong, what is this video?
Proxy for class warfare. And I think that this is one of
Yes, this was what I was talking about. Buffett denies okay. Social media rumors after Trump shares wild claim that investor backs president crashing market. Dude, I know Warren Buffett woke up and he was pissed when he saw that. He's like, I would never back something so fucking stupid. Oh my God. He probably was just more upset that anything that dumb would be credited to him. The narrator falsely states this is why Warren Buffett just said Trump is making the best economic moves he's seen in over 50 years. Oh, God. Buffett 94 didn't single out any specific post, but his conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway outright rejected all comments claimed to be made by him. There are reports currently circulating on social media, including Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, regarding comments allegedly made by Warren Buffett. All such reports are false, the company said in a statement Friday.
one of the first examples that you can really see of like this class warfare taking into effect. And I think that there are...
It must have been a different Warren. It was a different Warren, okay? It was the other one, the other really famous one.
A lot of people that are in like the Trump like Republican Party that are actually extremely far left with their economic policy, but only for Americans. Like basically, they have no problem giving a lot of money to other people in America. They
what?
But
what?
Only for Americans. Like basically, they have no problem giving a lot of money to other people in America. They just don't want it going to Mexico. And you're seeing these people come forward now. America first, exactly. America first. I love this. Yes. And so that's the big difference.
This is astonishing because for 60 years, presidents on both sides of the aisle have sided with the rich over the hardest working Americans, the American working class.
That's exactly it. And I think that's the way people have seen it. And this is just a good little example. The wealthiest top 10% of households own over 85% of corporate stock. This is again what I was saying. Is people are fighting back against this. And so, yeah, that's, well, no shit. Yeah, exactly. Isn't it funny how that works? It is.
And, you know, I used to have the Trump derangement syndrome. You know, I started out as a lefty, a liberal. I really, really couldn't understand the draw people had to.
Are there really no good Sargons?
To this president. But over time, I've come to see that he is simply the inheritor of the values that used to define the Democrats because they used to be the party of labor.
Was there a... Trump is the perfect embodiment of the id of the American working class. And he works in that behavior, in that way. And I think that's why he's so successful. That's why you have all of these hick.
He's successful because he lies. That's why he's successful. Because he lies and he cheats.
And hillbillies that are voting.
Oh, and also he's a Nepo baby.
For a guy that was born a multi-fucking millionaire. And they can relate more to him. It's because he knows how to tap into that. He bankrupted 3 casinos. Yeah, I don't. What's your point? Like that he's bad at business? I don't think that doesn't have anything to do with it. 100% right, man. Yeah, that's what it is. What about all the business?
I heard that wrong. I absolutely heard that wrong.
Millionaire, and they can relate more to him. It's because he knows how to tap into that. He bankrupted 3 casinos. Yeah, I don't. What's your
We gotta get a zoom in on this reaction. Hold up. Wait.
Because he can relate more to him. It's because he knows how to tap into that. He bankrupted 3 casinos. Yeah, I don't. What's your point? Like, like that he's bad at business. I don't think that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, that was too good. That was too good. Wow. What's the talking point on this one again? Shoot. He's well, what's your point anyways, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought.
100% right, man. Yeah, that's what it is. What about all the businesses he's ruined? I mean, what about it? What's the point? I don't even get it. What do you like? Okay, like that's not even what's being discussed.
A single moment.
It's not even what's being discussed, guys. It's not even what's being discussed. What are you guys, fucking stupid? He's too smart. He knew the casino is bad for people, so he let it get bankrupt. Oh, thanks, baby Dan.
That changed.
He's a fail son on horrible with money, and that's what makes him relatable.
So the cracks came a little at a time and then all at once. You know, the first was my rabbi, who's the best person I know, told me that he loved Trump. And I suddenly realized, well, I guess not every person who voted for him is a racist. Then I was doing a lot of reporting from the South on American.
No, I mean, you're either a self-serving piece of shit or you're dumb. And those are the only people that I think are voting for him. This is just the Sam Cedar Jubilee video again, where unless you are a millionaire, like a multimillionaire, billionaire, or an ethno-nationalist, like a religious fundamentalist ethno-nationalist, or one other group, and I'm forgetting the third one that he listed, voting for Trump was a stupid decision. So yeah, I mean, there are people who are racist that voted for him because they like that he's racist, and they're also racist, and then the rest of the people are just dumb. That's it. Kamala's fake black. Why does that matter? First of all, besides the fact that you're wrong, and I don't even know what the fuck fake black means, why does that even matter? Like, literally, how does that fit into the discussion of Trump voters? Some Trump voters are racist. What does that even, I don't even know. Are you trying to tell us that you're the racist Trump voter? I don't understand what the purpose of you saying this is. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out if they say anything.
Polarization, and what I found was a lot more united.
Oh, they're saying that because they think that we like Kamala Harris? This is my favorite Trump voter. The type of voter that thinks that anyone who doesn't like Trump must love Kamala. Like, they can't fundamentally understand that you can dislike both, but also recognize that Trump is a worse decision. It reminds me of that chatter that came in yesterday and said, like, but yet Obama, and it's like, do you think we like Obama, you fucking imbecile? No.
Americans then divided us, even in this moment. It was really the elites who were polarized, but average Americans were very united. And then the kicker was, in 2018, I saw a Yale study. And in this Yale study, it found that
this is again what I was saying, is that average people do see it this way. They do look at it this way, and they think to themselves, like, okay, well, a lot of people like feel like outsourcing and like offshoring different types of like just development and business. This has come, the perspective of offshoring business and outsourcing things to other countries. The perspective that the average American has is that this has come at the expense of the worker and to the benefit of the, top 1%.
Yeah, and then they voted for the candidate that would make things worse. So who do you like? An idealistic, perfect candidate that doesn't exist? No, I like candidates like Bernie. I like candidates like AOC. Now, Bernie did run for presidency, and I voted for him in the primary. But, like, if he can't win, he can't win, right? Basically, anyone that can call out the fucking scumbags in politics that are only trying to benefit themselves. I voted for Kamala, but I can't convince every single person to go and vote for her. Like, do you expect, like, my vote to have single-handedly been worth 10,000 votes? Like, I don't know what you want. Like, I can dislike Kamala, I can dislike Trump, and also recognize that Trump is a billion times worse, which is why I voted for her. But like, I don't know what to tell you. When she runs on a bad policy and people don't want to vote for her because she's running on a bad policy, what the fuck am I supposed to do? How is me voting for her, which I did do, gonna fix her bad policy? Like, I can't do more. I don't know what you expect from me. I can't make her have a campaign that appeals to more people. What is this message? What is this? If you know the future and are certain these tariffs will not work for America, great. But if you don't know the future, like you didn't know the future when we were being lied to about the vaccines, maybe find some humility. What? Huh? I don't... Mom, come get me. I'm scared. Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
People felt it. Well, regardless of like what you like, oh, it did, it didn't. That's not the point. This is what people think. I've been saying this shit for like a decade. A lot of people have been saying this for a very long time. Yeah, it's a very, very common line of reasoning.
Difference between how white liberals and white conservatives talk to Black and Hispanic Americans. And here was the difference. White liberals dumb down their vocabulary.
They don't even know what the word computer is
when they're talking to Black or Hispanic people.
And
white conservatives don't do that. They use a lower level of vocabulary. It's called presenting lower competence. They use smaller words when they're talking to Blacks and Hispanics than they do when they're talking to white people. This is white liberals. But white conservatives don't do that. And I remember looking at this and thinking, and we, the liberals, call them the racists? This is the most racist thing I ever heard. Yeah. And it was an indictment of the entire...
they don't know where the DMV is. How can you expect them to get an ID? They can't find a DMV.
That's not the argument about getting IDs and voter registration. That's not the argument. The argument is not that people can't find the DMV. It's that most people don't want to go to the DMV and wait for fucking hours. Huh?
DMV.
And the most transparent grift award goes to...
progressive worldview, which is based on this idea that minorities require the largesse and the beneficence of white progressives in order to thrive. And that was really a moment where
the reason why they have that thinking is because it puts them in the virtuous position that they want to be in. It's not because it's true. It's simply because their worldview is built around them being the savior so they can feel good about themselves.
Realized, wow, there's something really wrong with the left as it is, and came to see that it was President Trump who wanted to implement agenda items that would restore dignity to working class Americans. That's what this entire agenda is about. That's what these tariffs are about.
And so do you think that others are coming around to this opinion? Like, you obviously you hear about feedback.
Yeah, you're not going to get people that are working class to think that these tariffs are bad if you tell them that, well, stocks are going down. They don't care about stocks.
They're mad because things are going to get more expensive and they're going to lose their jobs. Then they already dislike them. They don't dislike them because of the stocks, dude.
They care about, like, groceries. They don't have stocks.
From a lot of people.
So the response to my Free Press column has been overwhelming. And I actually wanted to ask you, Dana, why do you think that is? Why do you think that this idea of a MAGA lefty is resonating so much with so many conservatives?
Well, I don't think it's that surprising.
Well, it's not at all. And this is at least, like, for me, this is the way that at least I feel. Like, I'm like very far left with economic policy. Like, I'm universal basic income. I mean, can you be any more left?
I'm against universal basic income. Can you be any more left? Okay, he must be sarcastic. He must be being sarcastic.
Than that. And so, like, but I only want it for Americans. Like, basically, I want the government to only act in the best interest of, like, our citizens.
He said he's in favor? Wait, I'm sorry. Go back.
I'm universal basic income. Like, for me, this is the way that at least I feel. Like, I'm like very far left with economic policy. Like, I'm universal basic income. I mean, can you be?
Oh, okay. It was just like, garbled. It sounded like against, but he said,
very far left with economic policy, like I'm universal basic income.
I'm universal basic income, which sounded to me like I'm against universal basic income. Okay. All right. He is I am universal basic income.
Can you be any more left than that?
And yes, you can be more left than universal basic income. That is actually a libertarian position. In the way that we present it, where you have to cut all social safety nets and then give people a flat rate, that's closer to like libertarian Yang presentation than it is left-leaning positions. Left-leaning positions suggest that people should have all of their needs already met, such that they don't need universal basic income. But whatever.
So like, but I only want it for Americans. Like basically, I want the government to only act in the best interest of like our citizens and never do anything that could compromise the well-being of our citizens for the best interests of other citizens and other people in other countries. So like no migrants, no unnecessary immigration, no foreign payments, no foreign aid, get rid of all of that and make sure that we're getting, domestic aid and helping those people, right? It should be that. And that's the way that I feel. That's my value system. What is an American? A citizen of America. So a person who lives in America, who is a citizen of the country that can legally vote. So if you've come here on a green card, you're not really an American. If you've come here illegally, you're not really an American. If you're visiting, you're not really an American. What I'm talking about are people that are citizens of the country. Yeah, kids aren't American? What? I mean, kids, of course, kids would be citizens. What do you mean? All countries should be like that? Said, yeah, the fact you had to ask that question. Yeah, Chatter is an American? Yeah, basically, right? Oh, you said vote? Well, yeah, it's a collection of things.
Maybe when he said he was on the left, yeah, maybe you're right, Chat. Maybe he meant that he's a national socialist. Maybe that's what he meant when he said that he's on the left.
Because we are living through a political realignment. And when you go through a realignment, it takes 10 to 15, 20 years for it to happen. And so to me, I think it's just maybe a little bit of the natural order of things. And partly because I don't think it's that presidents didn't care about the working class. I do think a lot of it had to do with identity politics and the woke liberalism and also trying to take rights away from parents. And that has been a big issue. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Do you have 2 cents?
You need to write a piece for the Free Press. But you wear your MAGA lefty label now with pride. I do. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for being here. Thank you guys so much.
I don't like this woman. She gives me really bad vibes.
Perspective.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Deuce.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like...
I think honestly for me, it's that she kind of has like... She's got kind of like the gamer gun, which immediately throws me off. Like she's kind of repping I can't even really do it correctly. But you see what I mean? She's like, I can't really, she does it much better than I do it. She does it much better than I can do it.
Your MAGA lefty label now with pride. I do. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you guys so much.
Interesting perspective.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Deuce.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty much the way that a lot of people feel. And, again, arguing from the perspective of like, oh, taxes are really high or something like that, stocks are down. Oh, like people don't give
I like how Fox News has been doing nothing but talking about how the Dow is down and the stocks are down and he's the worst president in the world because Biden is the worst president in the world because the stocks are down. I mean, Trump literally said if the Dow drops 500 points in a day, you should immediately be fired. And then it proceeded to drop 1,000 points in a day, 2,000 points in a day.
Shit about that. They're not going to care about that one way or another because they don't have stocks in a lot of cases. The prices of everything, specifically groceries, are going to go up like 2x. We'll have to wait and see. I think so. I think there's a good chance that could happen. Yeah, it could go up a lot. It's tougher than strawmanning. Building up your opponent's argument to make it as strong as possible, the better than they can.
He meant if it dropped by exactly 500. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, so I'm defending it. Well, I'm not really defending it or not. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with the tariffs. I mean, I'll say that the tariffs are massively destabilizing, and of course, people are really worried about them. And I mean, I can see why they're worried. I think it makes a lot of sense
And then it cuts off. Excellent. We don't need any more. Oh, God, dude. Oh, my God. It's so fucked up, too, because, like, you don't have to listen to my opinion. You don't have to listen to, like, Asmongold's opinion. You can go listen to how economists, fucking right-wing economists, have to, what they have to say about things like this. Like, but I know what you guys are thinking. Hey, at least the mold's finally over, right, Denim? Right? Right? Right?
That's what I believe. You can be groomed for sure. No, and that's a good point, right? Is that like that's why I said as an adult is because like if you're a kid and like you get fed a lot of propaganda and like messaging, like I feel like every trans kid is actually a victim of a parent with a mental illness. That's what I believe. And so, like, I really, and this, you got a kid that's like 17, right? I mean, it's a little bit more, you know, it's like not really as definitive. But like, if you have a kid that's like pre-puberty and they're trans, your parents have a mental illness. That's it. You can be groomed for sure.
You guys think this tweet looks good? Guy who lives like this wants to educate us on mental illness and parenthood. Do I send it? Full send? Full send. You guys know the drill. Juice that bitch. Juice it. It's like that one time when he said he's a traditional family enjoyer while he was dating a sex worker and is a Twitch streamer. Yeah. Oh, God, dude. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Yeah, I just, it's really sad because a lot of these, like, ideas about trans kids are so overblown. Because in reality, what having a trans kid looks like, which is just something fundamentally a lot of, like, cis straight people, like, especially right-wingers can't, like, understand, is just, like, the kid saying, well, I kind of feel like a girl, and then being like, okay, whatever you want. I'm not going to force you to do whatever you don't want to do. Just, yeah, whatever you want. And that's it. But the thing is, they actually have an ideology that they believe in and that they want to believe in. So when their kid says, well, I want the pink backpack, they say, no, pink is for gays, okay? And that's for girls. You have to get the football backpack. And it's like, but I just want that one. Yeah, well, too bad. Or kids that are like, I want to paint my nails. And it's like, well, you can't paint your nails. It's like, what? It sounds like you just kind of want to shove people into the straight cis box and you get upset when your kid doesn't do that thing. I just don't, it's insane to me. It's insane to me, like, to even consider that. They don't want to be judged by other idiot parents. It's just so stupid, too. I had someone tell me that the Bible clearly states two genders. God created male and female. I told them if he created male and female, they also created intersex people. And then they suspiciously stopped replying. Because they're powerless in their own lives. They want to exert their power over someone else. Yeah. Yeah. It's just so insane. I just don't understand it. It's like, someone else also mentioned it as well. Society's already so fucked in that it, like, forces people into these rigid boxes and you have to identify as one or the other in all of these different places in our lives. And you as a parent, you won't even give your kid one space where they can feel safe. Like, this is, like, the type of parents that force their kids to conform to what they think those kids should conform to. The reason your kid doesn't speak to you about things is because you refuse to listen. I hate society and gender norms. I used to paint my 5-year-old's nails until the other kids at school started bullying him. He's so sweet and kind. He doesn't realize they're bullying him. So now we paint his toenails while I try and navigate him defending himself without crushing him. Aw. It's just, like, is that not what parents are supposed to do? They're not supposed to provide an environment that's safe for their kids so your kids can feel comfortable talking to you about these things, that they won't Like that at least like if your kid feels comfortable enough to say like, well, what if I'm trans or whatever, and if you don't give them
6-time bankrupted, 34-time convicted felon president will be able to get tariffs right. Tariffs that have already failed twice before in this country.
So he's a great businessman. You're just a hater with Trump derangement syndrome. Like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't tell my parents shit because I didn't feel like I could trust my parents with anything because I felt like I would just get in trouble anytime I tried to talk to them about anything. I had very strict parents. I had a very strict curfew. I had to get all A's, and occasionally I was allowed to get B's. And so I just started getting crafty with it because I knew I had to, because that was the only way I was allowed to do anything. Because when you close that door to your kids, they will go somewhere else, right? And I would much rather, as a parent, or even as a kid, that I would much rather, as a parent, that a kid would prefer to be comfortable enough to talk to me about that, about their difficulty with gender or gender roles or gender norms. Because I do think as a kid, you spend a lot of time like not sure because the world is so new and it's so different and it's so bizarre and you're just trying to understand the rules. Like so much of childhood is just figuring out what the fuck the world's rules are because they're just totally arbitrary and you don't know them. And so you're like, oh, I'm not allowed to do that? Okay. Am I allowed to do that? Okay. And I feel like you grow out of a lot of phases. Like I was definitely very tomboyish when I was younger. Not that I ever thought I was a guy or anything, just that I was tomboyish. That it's just like, I just didn't care about how I looked. And I just wanted to be, I didn't get into, well, I got into some physical altercations as a kid. Pre-puberty, I got into some altercations. But I just didn't like, also didn't get along with kids. I was fucking 117, okay? I was really annoying. I threw hands, I threw feet, okay? And I realized you can't do that. And it's bad. And as I've gotten older, I've become like, I feel like more femme. And I've learned to appreciate that stuff, right? But I can see a universe where like, this is like the most reasonable steel man position of like the right-winger position, which is you don't want to confuse kids by telling them that they are or aren't any specific gender because kids have phases and they grow out of those phases, right? Maybe your kid wants to present very masculine and they see a lot of stuff about trans people and they think maybe they're a man, right? But the thing is, no one's saying you have to guide your kids in a direction. They just tell you something. You're like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to dress like this. Okay, sure, we can dress like that. It doesn't mean you go to the fucking gender store and get them reassigned. Like, you just let them be happy and feel comfortable. Explore what that's like. Explore what dressing more masculine or dressing more feminine or acting more feminine or dressing more feminine looks like and feels like for them, and see how they feel. Like, you don't have to fucking get hormones. You don't have to get puberty blockers. You don't have to do any of these things. It's just about letting them explore. And if you don't let them explore, guess what? That's how you end up with people who end up detransitioning because they didn't get a chance to explore it at all. Although I'm not talking about the people who are desisters or whatever, the people that like actively petition and work against transitioning. There's not anything wrong with like letting kids dress how they want and explore how they want. And wouldn't you much rather have your kid come to you than like find out that like your teenager is getting some DIY drugs and you can't figure out where they're getting them from or how safe they are or whatever? Wouldn't you much rather that you get to be there for them and you get to tell them, hey, well, how about this? Before you do any of that stuff, let's try this. I'm listening to you. I will respect you. I will follow everything you want me to follow, or like however you want to be referred to as. And in a year, we can explore this option. If you feel like they aren't 100% sure, like, wouldn't you rather open that avenue and open that door for them? But instead, what? You just like make fun of trans kids' parents and say, well, clearly all those parents are mentally ill. And it's such like a misunderstanding of trans people as well, because like, most trans people are not lucky enough that they have parents that are understanding. Most trans kids have unbelievably transphobic parents. And guess what? They leave home, they cut off their family, and they get to live their life being trans, just without their family. It doesn't matter how strict your parents are and how hard they fucking push you into a box. If you are one thing or another thing, like, they're not going to stop you from being that. Had my parents not let me get hormones after starting to get comfortable with my trans identity, I'd probably be on DIY. I'm much safer not being on it. Exactly, yeah. And it's like, again, wouldn't you much rather have, like, your kids come to you and say, like, I really want to get on these hormones or whatever, but I'm not supposed to be on them or whatever. And at least you can guide them. You can do some research on your own. If you're uncertain about their decision, that you can be like, okay. I know you want to rush into this decision. I'm scared that you're going to make a decision that you will later regret, right? But let's tell you what, how about this? We'll do everything else that you want. In a year, we can explore that option. Like, what, isn't it much better to have a support system for? Anyways, I hate this idea that any parents that are open to their kids are, like, clearly mentally ill. It's so infuriating. And it's just, like, so disgusting and gross. Like, I'd rather have a living trans daughter than a dead cis son. Yeah, I guess Elon Musk would disagree with you. I guess Elon Musk would disagree with you. Plate Smasher, thank you for the prime. Thank you. The bar is already so rigorous. He's insinuating the medical professionals also have mental illnesses. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. It's like, that's the other factor as well. They just pretend like you can just go to the gender store and you can get hormones, you can get puberty blockers, you can get a sex change at any age if you just ask for it. You just go in once and they're like, okay, well, what day is good for you? And it's like, what the fuck do you... I mean, Trump literally got on stage and said, kids are coming home with sex changes. And then, and the most annoying part is, like, if you've spoken to one trans person, just one trans person, they will tell you that it takes years. You have to have psych evaluations, you have to have a therapist, you have to have multiple appointments with multiple doctors. And if you're under 18, you also have to have multiple appointments with, like, pediatricians. Or, yeah, pediatricians, right? That's the word. Like, you don't just get to go in and then get what you want within, like, a day or two. Like, what the fuck? No. My trans friend is an adult, and it took years of therapy to get on just hormones. I can't even get evaluated for autism. You think people are just getting full-blown transitions in a day? Yeah. The Gender Store is my favorite Death Grips album. Yeah. 1 HRT, please. Yeah, it's just so stupid. Which, again, this is what people talk about when they say, like, bigotry is formed when you just, like, don't get out of your comfort zone, when unironically you sit in your echo chamber. Because if you've spoken to a trans person, you know that all of this is bullshit. Like, literally all of it is bullshit. Thanks for speaking up. It means a lot from a stealth girl. How long could a full transition take? 2 to 3 months? Oh my God. Oh, dude, no, not the anime profile picture chatter, no. Gender isn't a spectrum. People can feel and think how they want, but it doesn't change reality. Your gender doesn't change. It's not made up. It's identifiable. That's how you identify a gender. Same way we identify animals' genders. We don't identify animals' genders. We refer to animals as male or female, you fucking moron. We explicitly refer to them with the term sex. Nobody describes animals with their genders. Like, I'm not joking. Open any textbook. Fucking just turn on fucking the History Channel. Open up, like, planets or whatever the fuck, planet Earth. They don't refer to animals with gender. They say, like, the male, the sex of the rhinoceros is blah. They don't say man. They don't say woman, because man and woman are, they refer to human beings. Human beings' gender. Sex is a completely different thing, dude. Please, Christ. Oh my God. Oh, fucking Christ. Also, clownfish can change their sex? What the fuck? Real? Dude. My life changed when I found that one fucking fish. It's like, it's the, I think it's the fish with like the little light on its face. They could only find female fish. I forget what the name of the fish is, but they could only find the female fish. Angler? Was it the, yes, I think it was the angler. And they were so confused because they would find so many of these anglerfish and none of them were male. They were like, what the hell? Why can't we find any male anglerfish? These ones. The ones that look like freakish. The deep sea horror. These ones. Ah! And then they found out the reason why all of them were female was because the male fish are much, 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 much smaller. And they're not as formidable, so they attach and latch onto the female fish in what's described as sexual parasitism. And they basically use the female fish as a way to obtain like nutrition and resources, and in return they provide semen. And they shrink and shrink and shrink until it's basically just a ball sack that's attached to the female fish. Is that not the most fucked up, crazy shit you've ever heard in your fucking life? The anglerfish reproduce through sexual parasitism, where the tiny males attach to the much larger female counterparts to mate. In some species, the males bite the females and then release once the mating process is complete. In others, the male permanently fuses to the female. Is that not insane? Is that not like literally crazy? Is that not insane? Talk about clingy, am I right? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah. I feel like there's so many bizarre things, and there's so many bizarre things that happen in nature with like male and female animals and like the animal kingdom, that if you believe in gender roles, you're like actually an idiot. Like you're just an idiot. Now we don't. That's why we have bulls and cows, roasters, roasters, and hens, moron. And quick question. Did the hens tell us to call them hens, or did we make that word up to describe them? Did we create a word to describe the thing that already exists in nature? Or did the hen speak and say, "Excuse me, sir. Let me let you know really quickly, I am a hen. Thank you very much, and I would like you to refer to me as such. I am not a female chicken, you shit for brains, okay? I would like to be referred to as a hen." Like, we made it, do you understand? The gender description of that was something we created. We didn't create their genitals, but we created the terms that we use to describe them. Literally, the entire Spanish language is genderized. Now, what about American? Because I don't see no damn genderized American. Sounds like Spanish is pretty damn woke, if you ask me. I don't believe in no damn pronouns. We also made the language, you idiot. I don't understand. That's the point that we've been trying to say this whole time. The idea and the concepts behind gender are things we created to better sort out our world. Because yes, you can point at the animal and say, this is the animal that has these gametes that belong to this group, and that's how we're going to describe it every time. Or you can just create a word for it. You're being obtuse, Denims, you know what he means? No, I'm saying explicitly that we created these concepts to better organize our world, to better put things in boxes. Just like we created these concepts of bulls and cows, between roosters and hens. These are just easier ways for us to sort the world out. It doesn't make them, it doesn't make gender this concept that exists, like this like platonic concept that exists outside of us. There's no platonic ideal about gender. We should just have prefixed animals with their genitals. The penis blue whale. Oh, God. What are you talking about? Chatter, you literally just proved your point. Or sorry, his point. We observed there were two sexes in animals and made up words for the male and female version. Top keck. To think anyone can decide to change their sex one day. Do you not understand that there is a difference between gender and sex? Like, genuinely, I don't think you understand what the difference is. Sex is used to describe the biological differences between these animals. Human beings being an animal in the animal kingdom. Gender is the expression of, the social expression of that sex. So when we talk about gender, we talk about women wearing dresses and men not wearing dresses. That if you saw someone walking around and they were wearing a dress, you could presume that is the female gendered expression for a woman. That the social construct is what makes up gender. That's what gender is used to describe. Explicitly, correctly, that is what it's used to describe. Like, I don't... So people who are intersex, let me make this as clear as I can.
There's only two sexes. The sex I have with your mom and the sex I have with your dad. Learn to read. Liberal checkmate.
So let me make this very clear. People who are intersex. Do you think people who are intersex are male or female? The answer is no. I'll skip ahead a little bit in this. Spoiler alert. People who are intersex are not male or female. They are neither. There are lots of different types of intersex people who have a certain number of chromosomes that are in this direction or in that direction, or the presentation is different. And they have XX chromosomes, but they don't present as XX chromosomes, or the way that we would traditionally see it. The gender they choose to present as would be their gender, although they weren't born with that sex. Can we talk about the construct of time next week? Yeah, sorry, you're right. You're right. I like how this is too much. This is too difficult of a concept. It's the same thing. You say there's a different, majority says that there's not. You're wrong. Do you think that because the majority says something, that magically makes it right or wrong? You know, the majority of people didn't think that the earth revolved around the sun. They thought that the sun revolved around the earth. If you were around during that time, you would have said this. You would have said, well, the majority of people think that the sun revolves around the earth. Checkmate. That's dumb. That's stupid. What is this baby brain shit? Majority of people thinking something doesn't make it right. Do you believe you can impregnate another woman? No, but I think that women who have, I think it's Psoriasis syndrome, can. Let me see if I can pull it up. Or can be impregnated, people who we would otherwise think are male because of their chromosomes. Do you understand what Psoriasis syndrome is, chatter? Or have you never heard of it before? The fact is, you can never impregnate anyone and I can never become pregnant. Therefore, male and female, sex and gender is the only ones that exist. So what about women that can't get pregnant? Women that are infertile? They're not female or a woman, right? They're men. Those are the only two categories. The people who can become pregnant and the people who can't become pregnant. Binaries are a little difficult sometimes. Yeah. You can try again for descriptions of male and female. I'll allow a retraction. You can retract impregnation as a modifier. You can try again. And this isn't even getting into fucking seahorses, dude. We'll just talk about human beings. I don't want to confuse you too much. There are obviously women who, for whatever reason, have lost their ability to become pregnant. They're still women. What kind of pseudo-argumentation is that? But you just said, I can never become pregnant as your descriptor for male. You just did it right here. How do we know that the women who can't get pregnant are women? They still don't earn equal pay. Shut the fuck up. Because they're always bitching about me cleaning the damn dishes. That's how I know. Dude, like, this is it. This is peak. This is peak. Sex isn't determined by chromosomes. It's determined by a gene. I wish you the best of luck, man. Just Google what a chromosome is, man. Fuck, dude. For the love of God, please. 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 I just need you to... Just please. It's incredible that you refuse to face reality and your chat is 100% behind you on this. Wait, dude, say something, dude. Say something. Can you please respond? Can you please respond to the fact that I am saying that you're saying that you're using pregnancy as the end all be all on whether or not someone is that male or female sex? If you don't think, what is it if it's not pregnancy? If pregnancy isn't the thing that defines people as their sex, as you just said, some people can't be pregnant, but they're obviously still women. Okay, then how do you know that they're women? Answer the question. How do you know that they're women if they can't get pregnant? I'm not a biologist, but since I have eyes and common sense, I can tell the difference between men and women. I'm going to be honest with you, you're not going to want to go in the direction of visuals, okay? It's not the right direction, okay? Because then you're opening up this can of worms where it's like, I have eyes, these are all men. You don't want to go in the direction of like, you have eyes and you can see that. Link, I'm asking for a friend. Like, do you think all of these people are women? If you have eyes and common sense, are all of these women or men? It's cute that you read every message with a superior and mocking tone as if you're the smartest person and the authority on whatever topic you discuss. I really only followed to type that first message. No, I just think people who type dumb messages are funny. Like, I don't, that's all. Again, you go select some extreme example to prove a point. Showing you people that exist in Thailand is an extreme example? What's extreme about this? Genuinely, I'm asking. I don't understand what's extreme. I can tell a bearded dude with blue hair who says he's a woman is in fact not. Yeah, okay, so what about someone who doesn't have a beard and blue hair? Like these people here. Okay, Thailand is known for ladyboys that look more feminine than most women in America. I love this comment. So yeah, they might be hard to distinguish. So what? Well, wouldn't you then agree that your criteria isn't very good if it's so easily hurt by men who look more feminine and women who look more masculine? Isn't that kind of a bad metric? If like a large number of people are just not easily identifiable as man or woman, shouldn't you then pick something a little bit more, I don't know, scientific? By the way, this is what Chatter's common sense leads to. I saw this story. 2 cis men in the women's bathroom to arrest a black queer woman for being too masculine. This is where transphobia gets you. There was also a woman that was fired for going into the women's restroom, and she's a cis woman, but she's like 6'4". Like, she's been a woman her whole life. On her fucking birth certificate, it says female. She's just really tall. Some Amazonian women are out there. They're real, waiting for me, okay, to climb them. And they fired her because they were like, well, you're trans and this is too hard. But she's not trans. And like, this is what people talk about when they're saying that like transphobia hurts cis women.
They came in here in the girls' restroom because I'm a girl and they didn't think I was a girl. So they try to come take me away because I'm a girl.
I hate penis inspection day. But actually, who are you defending? What is the point you're trying to make? Oh, the women I just showed you in that video. As one example, right? As a 6'1" woman who was in the military, constantly called sir, LMAO. Yep, this is the story. Walmart fired this cis woman who, again, has been cis. She's been a woman her whole life. She's cis. She's never been trans for any point of her life. She was verbally assaulted in the female restroom by a man who mistook her for a trans woman and she was fired because she reported the incident to the wrong supervisor and created a security risk. Danny Davis, who is queer, took to social media on March 24th, wrote a post about what happened while she was at work. The incident occurred on March 14th at the Walmart in Lake City, Florida. She noted that she was a nearly 7-year employee of Walmart and holds several other part-time jobs, including the joy of privilege of tutoring special needs children as requested. It describes herself as a hard worker who's never been in trouble. She also describes herself as really tall, just shy of 6'4", adding that every inch of me is natural. Around 8 p.m., she wrote that she was alone in a stall in the women's restroom when she heard a man yelling. The voice was much louder than simply someone yelling in front of the door. This man was fully in the restroom, yelling something about transgender women, Davis wrote. Davis said the man yelled that he was going to beat them and he was going to protect his wife and girlfriend from them, while his wife and girlfriend were pleading with him to stop and leave before he got into trouble. Do you see the problem with well, I can tell? Do you remember the video from a while back with the tall dude that says, "It's ma'am"? Do you think that was a genuine woman? I don't really care if it was or not. I don't know. To your point, who is being harmed by that person saying, "It's ma'am"? Show me one incidence of someone being harmed because somebody else said, I'd prefer you call me she, her, or ma'am. Here's an incident of someone actually literally losing their job because other people said, "I can tell when someone is trans." And then we're wrong about it. What you're talking about is a video of someone saying something that hurt somebody else's feelings. Denims, get ad block, please. I have it. It's just not working very good. It's not working well. You don't like these ads about new permanent teeth in 24 hours? You don't like that ad? I know the other one was like, eat 500 eggs. In fact, since the Republicans won, even though I'm not an American, I would say I'm in the majority. You know, usually people that are all about the sex gender thing, usually they at least turn to like the chromosomes, or at least they turn to gametes or something. They turn to something else, right? I can't believe this guy literally just said, "Well, I can tell." And that's it. That's the entire argument. That's it. That's the only thing that guy can say. I really do wish you the best of luck, man. I really do. Spider infestation? This simple solution works. Dude, to the chatter that's been fucking spamming, you didn't say anything for me to pick you. All you said was, "She has ADHD. She talks about too many things. I can't focus." How do you think I feel living in my body? No, wrong, not correct, not right, not wrong. You can pick me, pick me. Chatter's boring, pick me. You didn't say anything for me to pick you except be annoying, dude. Say something. Say something. Wait, I have a clip for it. Wait.
Say something. Say something.
Say something. I think Sis6 is a woman because he's acting like a fucking little bitch. See, I can tell when someone's a woman and when someone's not a woman because they start bitching and moaning just like my ex-wife, dude. Oh, my blah, 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 blah. And the worst part is she's wrong while she's saying it. Oh, my goodness. Am I right or what, guys? Am I right or what? Oh, God. You're wasting your time. You'd have a more intelligent conversation with an actual seahorse than a fucking troglodyte. Yeah, but I'm sick. I'm sick. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to highlight those chatters and talk to them, okay? I think it's fun. Sorry, I think they're maybe gonna go. But enjoy your chat. They're all very tolerant and smart. Enjoy the circle jerk. You will definitely win hearts and minds. It's all about compelled speech and not agreeing to your worldview. No, you just got fucking owned, dude. Okay, now you're crying like a little bitch. You're not beating the woman allegations. You're not beating them. Stop crying like a little bitch. Have an actual logical argument, and maybe then we won't call you a little bitch, dude. It's pretty simple. Oh my God. You literally couldn't come up with an argument besides, "Well, I can tell when they are, and sometimes I can't, but that's okay." That's not a good argument. It's not even remotely close to one, man. Fuck. Anyways, moving on. There was the other guy. What's his name? It was another orange chatter. This is fun for Hogwatch, okay? This is fun. Maybe next time we'll open the Discord VC. Maybe I'll talk to one. Who knows? I think they left. Oh. All right, well, I guess they're gone. There's the guy about the chickens and the hens and the roosters or whatever. But I guess they're gone forever. No, not... No, I think it's gone forever. Okay. Can't find it. The hens and roosters, dude. Oh, this guy. Oh, he didn't leave. No, he didn't leave. It's that intentional obtuseness again. Why did you capitalize these? If the SRY gene isn't present, they were never male. You make the stupid argument that a person with XY can be female because the chromosome pairs don't matter. Only the gene matters and can be present in most chromosome pairs. Okay, so to the guy who's mad that I was making fun of him, this is what I was talking about. At least learn these arguments. These arguments are also wrong, which I will explain why. But at least learn to make these ones. Here we go. Let's pull it up together. Shall we, chatter? Shall we learn? Here we go. The thing is, you're wrong about this. Chatter. Quote, if the SRY gene isn't present, they were never male. This is incorrect. This is functionally incorrect. Do you want to know why it's incorrect? And this is like, again, it's a Google search. It's a very quick Google search. It's present. There's just an inactivation of it. It can be there, and you can still have this syndrome. It's not that it's always not there, so you're automatically not cis or not male or female or whatever, but you absolutely can have it, and there's no activation of it. So more to the point here, it's not functional. Okay, is that better? So question, really quickly. If this person had sewer syndrome, this person that you're looking at right now, you would say this is a male? You would refuse to use the terms she, her, because this is a male. Sorry, it's Swire syndrome. My apologies. They're not male. Okay, then. So you agree then this is a woman, right? That the chromosomes don't matter at all? Okay. In that case, I would like to bring up where is it? What about someone with androgen insensitivity syndrome? Would this person be male or female? Oh, it's complicated, isn't it? Oh, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. I don't see how this goes against my argument. So you don't have nothing to say on that. Nothing to say. No response on that. These categories that we create for our associated genders that go along with our sex are not as binary as we want them to be. This like universe where everything cleanly fits into male, aka man, and woman, aka, or sorry, a female, aka woman, that's not how the real world is. It's bimodal, not binary. And we agree in cases where there's people who are intersex, where chromosomes don't match up with presentation, we generally go with presentation over S or Y functionality or chromosomes or gametes. Ironically, we go back to what that other chatter said about what you see. Because that was the entire purpose of gender. To easily classify people. It's the same reason we have lots of other classifications for lots of other things. It's just a way to easily classify and put things around us in boxes. Race is another one that's a really good one for explaining this concept better. There aren't really races in the way that we think that there are races. There's kind of just like human race. But when people look differently enough and the cultures are different enough, we put things into boxes because we like putting things into boxes. We constructed these things, right? We made these boxes. We were like, these boxes fit, they matter, they make sense. Now, the common argument to this is, well, oh, you see, so you think people can transition races? No, because race is identified with how people treat you throughout your life and with your culture and in ways that we cannot desegregate or segregate from your identity or you as a person. You're not disproving anything I haven't said already. What? I mean, I think if you weren't listening, that's true. You weren't able to classify this person. The purpose of bringing up someone that would have androgen insensitivity syndrome is saying that your classifications aren't good enough and that the world isn't as simple as you think it is. And as much as you would love for people to all fit cleanly into man or woman, that's just not how it is. Fundamentally, the description for gender is your presentation. Other animals don't have gender because they don't, well, some, right? So birds are a good one, right? Where men have certain, the male birds have certain qualities that they commit to, and like the preening or dancing that certain male birds do, that's the gendered ritual, right? But it's a description for, how someone experiences life, how someone wants to experience life, and how others around them are expected to experience life. Gender is something that is, it's performed. Because gender is something that's performed, it means that it's not immutable, which means that you can change it. That's it. It's that simple. It's the difference between having nails and having nail polish on those nails. You can make the nail polish whatever color you want, regardless of your nails. There's no rule against that. You want people to fit into these boxes, but they don't fit into these boxes, and you don't have anything to describe or explain why they should fit into these boxes. And you want to keep pointing at sexual dimorphism as an example and say, well, clearly it must be the case that men are male and women are female. This chatter, I think, is they literally don't understand. The condition only affects males. How are you making a point? The greater point is that your classifications don't work because these things are more complicated. It refutes the idea that male equals man, which means that your worldview cannot exist, that gender must equal sex, because here are examples of that not being true. What do you not understand here? I feel bad, chat. I feel bad for some of these chatters because it's like, you try and explain to them that these things are complicated, that they're not easy. And as much as I would like them, this condition only affects males. How are you making a point? How is this an example of it not being true? They're still classified as male. So you think that they're classified as male because of the expression. So you think that for example, just pulling a random stock photo, this would be a male. If this was someone with complete androgen sensitivity syndrome, this is a male. Why would I assume their gender? First of all, you misspelled there, not important. Well, you wouldn't be assuming because they're male, because you just said people with androgen insensitivity syndrome are male. So you wouldn't be assuming anything. It has to be he, him by your definition. Hold up, let me pull up a photo. Then you would call them male. Here's a real example of someone who has complete androgen insensitivity syndrome. So when you would talk to this literal model, by the way, she's literally a model, you would say he, him when talking about this person. This is a real person. Hanne, Gaby, Odiele. I'm mispronouncing this like crazy. This is a real model that exists today with complete androgen insensitivity syndrome. And you would, when you were talking, if you were her friend, you would say, this is my good friend, Hanne. Isn't he great? Isn't he such a great guy? Yeah, what's wrong with that? Because everyone around you would be unbelievably confused, including them. Because gender is supposed to be used to describe what we see how we feel that people present, how people want to present, and how they perform the gender role. And sex is all of the stuff in the back end. The back end programming. This is the purpose of having a different classification for gender and sex. This is the purpose right here. Because there are people who don't fit cleanly into the binary of sex equals gender, and so we have gender as its own thing. That's the purpose of gender. That's the purpose of language, to easily communicate to other people what they are seeing. I can't save you, dude. I can't save you from yourself, man. But you know what I can do? I can show everyone else how this argumentation is just fucking stupid. That, like, any normal person would, like, see this and be like, oh, I guess gender isn't sex. Because, like, yeah, I would never see this person in public and think this is a man. Even though all of these expressions, these biological expressions would suggest that they are male. Yeah, I guess you're right. That does make sense that we would describe them as a woman. So this thing isn't really as sturdy as I thought it was. So I can move past this container that's like holding me back for no fucking reason. Like, you look like a crazy person. I'm sorry to tell you, Chatter. You look like a crazy person. You look insane. I'm sorry. To look at this person and then say, this is clearly a man, he is pretty. But I wish you the best of luck, man. I wish you the best of luck. But chat, I like to do this every once in a while. I know we don't do them all the time. But I like to do it every once in a while to show you guys that, like, there's no logical explanation for being, for refusing to believe that gender and sex are different, for engaging in a worldview that erases trans people. Right? There's no logical explanation because people aren't logical beings, right? We don't exist within any particular confines. We kind of just are. And for most of society, we kind of put all of these things into categories because the boxes make us feel good. And also because sometimes those things are helpful, right? But realistically, they don't have an explanation for why they insist on acting a certain way, because there's no definition for it, because people don't fit into boxes, right? They're mad that the things don't fit into boxes, so they hold on to their, like, reductive worldviews and insist that they're right. But you can keep going, Chatter. You can keep going. You can keep going. You can keep thinking that, I mean, dude, you can't even spell your, you don't even know the difference between the yours and the theirs. Like, I don't know if you should be talking about anyone else's intelligence, I'm going to be honest, or about anyone else being right or wrong. I'm going to be honest with you, Chatter. But anyways, guys, that's a fun little stream. I had a fun time. Sorry, sometimes I like to get a little one guide. I also think it's important because I want you guys to know that, like, these people don't have anything sound behind their argument. It's just, I don't care that this doesn't make sense, and I don't care that I would call this person who literally, presents without any surgery, without any hormones, is presenting as a woman. I insist on calling them a man because I'm insane. Like, it's feelings for them. It's literally just feelings for them. Instead of agreeing, yeah, we use, like, he and she and her to describe people that we see and what we see, and that's just like the surface level or whatever. They insist that, like, no, these things would all, like, it's all logical, it all makes sense. I would call them a male because in reality, remember, chat, in what universe would this guy know that this woman has this syndrome? In what universe would this chatter know? Like, imagine having this as a coworker, right? And then being like, sorry, I don't know what gender pronouns to use yet. Can you tell me if your SRY gene has activated? Could you let me know? Or if you have androgen insensitivity syndrome or any of these other things, because I don't know which pronouns to use for you. So can I see your full medical documents first? Like, that would be crazy. Like, that's a crazy thing to do, but they have to defend it and pretend like that if this was their coworker, they would automatically, magically know. But that's not how these things work. They work based on what you visually see because it's a social construct, right? And this doesn't change the number of people who don't even know, by the way. Wasn't it like Boy? One of the boys was like, they're intersex and they didn't even know. They literally didn't know. And they were like, yeah, my parents never fucking told me. And apparently I am. I didn't know that, but okay, sure. It's a joke. That's not what those words mean, right? It's not what those words mean. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey, berating these chatters and explaining to them that being transphobic is a mental illness, actually. And you are ill for thinking that. I will be heading off today. I'm sure the fallout from that tweet will go viral. I'm sure Asmongold will get a lot of people that are very happy that he's speaking about mental illness and parenthood. I'm sure it'll go really well. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Please have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. And I will see all of you in the next one.